Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do DC Comics Presents Superman and Legion of Substitute Heroes, issue number 59 by DC Comics. Well, I already said that, I believe. A subscriber asked me to cover this, so you ask and you shall receive. Let's go. So, it's been written by Keith Giffen and drawn by Paul Levitz and a lot of other guys. And we see Superman flying here in Metropolis. And, this creature here is Ambush Bug. That's his name. And, Ambush Bug is more like a Joe character, like Impossible Man and Marvel and Deadpool. Personally, I cannot stand Joe character because they are mostly not funny. They are mostly, always, in my opinion, irritating. And there are some funny bits here and there when it comes to Joe characters in certain comics, but mostly they are just on the irritating side of the spectrum. So, just like with all Joe characters, they like to talk a lot, and they also talk to themselves. Ambush Bug, is doing the same thing. So he jumps on the back of Superman, and Superman is holding him, and he says, "You have to be one of the most colossal idiots in history. It's not bad enough you use your little bug teleporters to commit crimes, but now you're using them to jump on my back while I'm going through time. You could have fallen off and got lost in one of forgotten centuries." So he decides to put this guy in prison because, I'm not very familiar with Ambush Bug, what he can do, where he come from, but I believe he was, I don't know, a small criminal or something. And he goes to the Legion of Superheroes headquarters, but there's some kind of an energy shield around he cannot go into. So that means there is no one on duty over there. But there is another solution. And so he brings them to the Legion of Substitute Heroes. Now, for those who don't know, the Legion of Substitute Heroes are basically heroes that applied in the past to become Legion of, part of Legion. Right? But they are being rejected. So, and then at one point they go on missions, and I don't quote me on that because it's been a long time ago since I read those stories. I believe the Legion of Substitute Heroes did some heroic work, and they, instead of being rejects, they becoming substitute heroes, right? So they are not really, let's say, good enough for the Legion, but they have their own club of misfits, if you will. And the roster is changing a lot also. I mean, I'm missing Night Girl, by the way, and a couple of others, but it doesn't matter. So Polar Boy says, hey, he is perfectly safe and harmless there. And Superman says, hey, I need to go to the 40th century to take care of some errands. I'm come back as soon as possible. And so Polar Boy says, one question, Superman, what exactly does the Ambush Bug do? He has little flying electronic bugs as drones, and if he gets loose, he can teleport instantly to wherever one of them is. Please don't let that happen. So he goes through time, and he's feeling as, like, he says, why am I so sure I'm going to regret this? Well, you're going to find out, Superman, soon. Well, very soon, because he's already escaped. So, and then we meet up with the other substitute heroes. These are Infectious Laz and Porcupine Kid, or Porcupine Pete. So there's bugs flying around, and Polar Boy is here being beaten up, and they have no clue what's going on for now. So Superman comes back, and he. So this is Metropolis in the future, by the way, in the 30th century. So there's a lot of things going on, and we see Ambush Bug here flying around in this, vehicle, and he says, I knew it when will I learn to trust my instincts? But also he says something that is not really normally coming from Superman's mouth, but this is the 80s, so it's a different era, and Superman is not being the Superman that we all know and love. This is, pre-crisis, etc. So he also says that, talking about the substitute heroes, that they have a dumb name. That made me chuckle a bit. It's not, something that Superman would say, I guess, but, because he has respect for all of the heroes. But still, so he is using his super speed, but then he's being, I don't know, rammed into a tree because accidentally Chlorophyll Kid uses his powers to stop Ambush Book, but then it went wrong. He said, mind explaining how the Ambush Book got loose? And he says, well, you know how you left the Ambush Book with Polar Boy at our headquarters? See, Polar Boy was kind of embarrassed to admit that our only security cell was, well, broken. We were fixing the security and Fire Ladder sneezed. So, yeah, things got wrong here. And Superman stuttering. But what exactly was the glow Polar Boy put the ambush book in? Would you believe it was my aquarium tank? I had sort of boiled the water in it accidentally. I'm sorry, that made me laugh out louder than I would have normally. So then Stone Boy comes and wants to ambush the ambush book, but ambush book realized what's happening, he's teleporting away, and then Stone Boy uses his power of, well, turning into stone and falling into this concrete. The downside of all of these powers, of Stone Boy's powers, when he is in his stone form, he cannot move. He's literally become a statue. He can feel, and well, I'm not sure if he can feel, but he's conscious, but he cannot move at all. So it's not really let's say his powers are pretty useless. So he says, Stone Boy, are you all right? Does it hurt? I don't think he is answering Chlorophyll Kid. And then he said, timber, says the bug. And okay, Superman has been, had enough. So using his super speed to do this. And so he had him in his cape. And, but, Superman is also being with, has some quippy lines here. There we are, all in the snuck as a buck in a rug. No more problems, no more snappy lines. But then, he just disappeared with Superman's cape. But then there's the science police comes, and the science police asked Superman to come with them. Superman sputters, but he says maybe the science police will help Superman a little bit more than the substitute heroes. So so we go on a comedy tour here a little bit, Lobo. So Ambush Book has this guy waiting for the bus, and he says, well, hey, here's your cape, and now you're a Superman. You can go fly now. And this guy, this creature is falling. No, you got it all wrong. The cape will let you fly. You're supposed to flap your arms or something. That's not how it works. So this creature is falling, and then we see then, I thought it was Chameleon Boy, but this is Antenna Lad. And we have Color Kid, and so he is saving this creature. Well, Antenna Lad gets kicked away, and so yeah, he's jumping on this hero's back, and he's tugging on the ears, and he says, I want to have those ears because they are looking cool. Now, I'm not very familiar again with all of these powers, but as far as I know, Color Kid or Color Lad, one of the two, Color Kid, can change only the colors of, well, color. If you have a blue chair, it turns into a yellow chair or something like that. So I'm not sure what his power is doing, but it's not really working. And so yeah, then this is happening, and this guy is on the ground and says, oh, well, he's a little bit distressed, and well, there's some funny bits in here, I must admit, but overall, it's not as aggravating that I with Deadpool. I really dislike Deadpool as a character. This typical modern Marvel humor. I don't get it. When Deadpool was really introduced, his comedy level was way lower, and he was more, he was more dangerous, if you know what I mean. But now he's just turned into a joke and nothing matters. And yeah, And I think with Ambush Buck, he's not as aggravating, but still annoying. So he goes to the Superman Museum, etc., because the other ones cannot find him. And the Sign Police here is, interrogating, the substitute heroes and Superman, etc. And then they explain what happened, etc. And it goes nowhere a little bit because, so the Science Police guy, hey, what did you done and how did he escape? And so this porcupine dude says, we are the substitute heroes if the Legion are away, and we even have our own heroes. They are called, basically they have their an auxiliary. And I thought to myself, what's that? So Superman's an auxiliary? Yeah, they're great. They're heroes who weren't quite ready for the membership of the substitute heroes yet. So this guy says, not ready for the members of the substitute heroes. Lord, give me strength. So so we have the heroes that are not ready for the Legion, and then we have heroes that are not ready for even, to become substitute heroes. It's just crazy stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit here. So I don't know. One of these Science Police things says that they registrate some kind of activity at the Superman Museum. And Superman, rushes immediately to it because he's afraid that the Ambush Bug will find out the secret identity. Now, in the 30th century, it's already known. That's not a big deal. But, he comes from the 20th, well, in this case, 20th, not 21st, but 20th century. That's going to be a big problem if they are going back to the present. And so then Porcupine Pete and Infectious Les says, hey, Superman, the museum is this way. But then he goes, I don't know, to where he was held at the beginning. And he's collecting all of these electronic bugs so that he cannot teleport away anymore and just burn them. So he goes back to the Superman Museum. I mean, I'm sorry. I just have a very soft spot for these old school characters. And I know this is all silly. It's not really that exciting. It's not even that funny. But I don't know. I think it's cool to read this. The heroes are here. And he says, if you come close, I will destroy this cake. So Superman comes in. And he says, here, hold this. Careful, Superman. He's crazy. He's trying to pull my ears off. And there's going to be, not really a fight, but, more running away. Porcupine Pete wants to, stop him, and then he's teleporting away, and Superman's getting blinded by these, how do you say, needles, I guess? And he's getting a bump because of the speed of Superman, so we bump into each other. And so he says, sorry, Superman, is there a way to stop him from teleporting away? Only by destroying his little bugs, Pete, and I can't seem to find the rest of them. Where the blazes does he hide them? And then he pops him behind them, and then I believe he's getting kicked out. And then we see this statue with Superman and Clark Kent's face, but luckily the bug doesn't turn around to figure that out. And, he's also attacking the other members of the substitute or the auxiliary. And there's some comedy in here, but then here at the end is he's looking at the part when Superman came into Earth as a baby, and so Color Kid and Infectious Les are here, and he says to Infectious Les, we need to distract her, or you just pop away. Go for it. Go to it, Infectious Les. Huh? Me? How? Come on. Come on to him and use your feminine willies. Is that how you say it? And she says, I don't know how. So she goes from, hey, fancy meeting you here. And he's doing the Dracula thing. And he says, tell me, dearie, what's your specialty? Or I make people sick. I'm sure you do, dearie, but seriously. Excuse me. So he just knocks this guy out. And he says, you didn't really think you could surprise me that easily, did you? Especially with a dumb story about making people sick. Really? And then he is, I don't know, he's having fun here in the 30th century. Is that how you say it? And he wants to stick around, and because it's also new and different. And then he sees something like this. Hey, what's that? So he doesn't know what to do, but he's curious. So he slowly goes up there, and there's some kind of a camera, according to him. Well, I know exactly what it is. So there's a button. It says "Do not push," and of course he's going to push it. And this is none other than the Phantom Zone projector. Yeah, so he is now there, cannot escape. So Superman is trying to get these other bugs, before he can teleport away. But he is there in the Phantom Zone. He cannot go anywhere, and he wants to get his cape back. And basically, that's it. That's how you wrap it up. And Polar Boy says, I'm sorry we couldn't have been more of a service, Superman, but it was a pleasure working with you. You're everything the legend says. And then I am not even sure who this guy is. So he says, hey, Superman, you want some lemonade? This is a special occasion. Oh, I totally forgot. I mean, I have to go back. I have to go back because, well, that's the joke at the end that I totally forgot to talk about, which is not really funny, but we had to highlight it. Where is it? So remember Stone Boy being stuck? So the reason why the substitute heroes are not there is, well, they try to figure out how to get him loose. So they come up with plans, etc. And they're still here. Maybe a hydraulic drill? The vibrations, keep thinking. With the vibrations, he means that, the stone is going to, that he's going to break Stone Boy or something. And that's the joke at the end. It's not really that funny, but, the reason that they are not here, he says, that's right, Stone Boy, Chlorophyll Kid, and Fire Lad still haven't reported in. Wonder what happened to him. So they are still here figuring out how to get him out. Maybe a crane? His head would snap off. Keep thinking. So yeah, this is a little more like a cartoon-esque ending. Like I said, it's stupid, but I don't know, it's just funny. I just like reading these kind of comics for myself. Guys, let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.